Hi, Lizzie. Welcome. We're so glad to have you back.
Thank
And
you.
the next one, people are popping in. Lizzie, thank you for waiting so patiently in our waiting room while we got ready. Jen, it's good to have you here tonight. We're waiting for a couple more people. So, um, you guys would not believe, you would not even believe how much anticipation has precluded this evening and spending this time together. Like, February is my favorite month. I love the love month because I believe as human beings, our prime directive is to love one another. And so this whole month, we've just been anticipating loving on you and seeing how your souls would like to also give you those messages of love. And so I think we're waiting on one more person. I don't want to miss them. Um, but I want you to know that you have been much anticipated, much thought about. And as we were getting ready in our pre meeting before this, we were just like having so much fun and grinning huge because you guys, what happened? First of all, we got a bunch of J people in here, but not only that, but we realize that it is like the group of people whom we truly love, like we've had been friends or been in relationship with a long time, and how special it is that you guys were the ones that we were attracted to this particular night and are here with us together. So it feels even more intimate than one of our normal events because we all are so closely woven together. And so I can't even tell you how excited I am about the things that Tonya June is going to bring in and show us and make us aware of. Oh, let me get one more person in here. So there we go. I think
We're
we
still
may be
waiting on at
we're
least
still waiting
one more.
at least one more.
But
All right.
look at the
Go ahead.
chat and drop in some stuff because y'all were here last time, or most of you were here last time, I think. So tell us what's going on.
Yeah, update us because we care about you and your lives and what's happening. And we've had some really good testimonies. If you haven't caught those on social media, where people have fed back in and said, "Hey, Tonya June said a thing," and the thing happened like times 1,000. And that
That's
just gives me
good.
chill bumps to share those things because. So definitely let us know what's going on. If there's something that you need, that's not something usually that comes through. If there's something that you need from us tonight, feel free to be vulnerable and put that in the chat because one of the things that self care and love for self brings to mind is being able to ask for those things that you need. So please don't be afraid to be vulnerable and put that in the chat, or even while Tanya's reading for you, it is absolutely okay to ask questions and clarification and whatnot. She very much loves to interact with you guys and to make sure that you leave filled and hearing the message that you need to hear. So I'm fairly certain that Jenna will be here shortly, but I don't want to hold back any longer because we have been anticipating this night so much. Tanya June, we love you so much. We're so grateful that you are willing to give your time and your talents and your energies to us. Yes, you guys, you've been here, so let's snap it out. You raise our energy levels. Let's be present. In the emails I said to make sure that you've done something good for yourself. Light a candle, get a glass of wine. We're going to love ourselves. Well, Tanya June, take it away.
Hey there, y'all. So, at first when I decided that it came through that we were going to talk about love this month, because this is the love month, and that it was going to be the end of the month, so I felt it was really important for us to end the month on a big, huge transformation note. But there's been a whole lot more that's come through about this, and I really feel like it's important that we get on the same page of what real intimacy and real love is. And we've been kind of, and I feel like I have been tasked in this lifetime with breaking a whole lot of old paradigms and a whole lot of old thoughts that aren't true. And we have been taught that intimacy is this physical thing between two people, and that's the end of it. And that's so not true, because true intimacy happens between all kinds of people, and it hasn't even got anything physical to do with it. It's really about vulnerability. It's really about trusting another person or persons enough to share the things that are really scary and that really require us to be soft. And then if you can get that with the physical, I mean, the physical is wonderful, don't get me wrong. I love the physical, but it's so much better when there's a lot of vulnerability that comes along with it. And truly, I might get teary-eyed over this. It's really time for us to start loving ourselves, because as I was meditating pretty much every day this month, it just kept coming across like there's so much going on in this timeline that has nothing to do with all of us that are here in this call today, and the people that are in this tribe with us, even if they don't know it. People are not spending enough time loving themselves for exactly who they are, loving themselves for exactly how they show up. And we're starting to see normalization of things, you know, like, y'all, there was the most gorgeous model at the film festival this week, and she had a full beard. And I was like, now, did I get a picture with this woman? Of course not, because my mind is not on those things when I'm doing what I'm doing. There was a time that they were called freaks in a freak show, right? This woman is 6 foot of lusciousness, and she was owning it. And there wasn't a person in the room that didn't think that she was the most beautiful thing they'd ever seen. And so, of course, the first thing out of my mouth was, girl, you love yourself. She goes, not only do I love myself, but I don't give two shits about anybody else. This girl was like 28 years old. If I felt that positive, and when I was 28, the whole world would be on fire with me right now, right? So I think we're really starting to see a lot of normalization of things that were once called freaks, and we're starting to turn that love inward to ourselves. And so, you know, it doesn't surprise me that this is the first card out of the batch, right? This is the 3 of Cups. And cups are all about emotions. They're all about love. And 3 is all about divine angelic intervention. And the 3 of Cups is about celebrating. It is time, pardon me, it is time for us to start celebrating our own uniqueness, start celebrating that which we love of ourselves. And that doesn't mean physical at all. It can. Of course it can. It can be anything. Start with whatever's the easiest, right? You know, I love my big toe. Great. Keep going. Whatever it takes, right? Like, it doesn't matter where it starts. What matters is where you get, right? And I'm going to challenge you right off the bat. So here's your exercise for the next 30 days. And this has been done. Julia Cameron put this in the Artist Way. And if you've never done the Artist Way, please tap in, get it. You can get it on Amazon for very little amount of money. Every day before you go to bed, now I'm going to change it a little bit. This is not what she would have you do. This is what I'm asking you to do, what my guides are saying. Hey, this is what they need to hear. Every night before you go to bed, 5 things that you love about you. Only 5. None of them can be repeated in the next 30 days. Okay? When you wake up in the morning, I want you to read those 5 things and look in the mirror. And this might take a little bit, because let me tell you, this was the hardest one for me. You have to look in the mirror. You can't look away. You can't blink. You can't pretend like you're not doing it. And you have to say, I love you, and mean it. Okay? This is the beginning of you transforming yourself and the love that you deserve. And what will happen at the end of this 30 days? Oh my God, so many things. First of all, there will be no more of this bullshit. Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is the 8 of Swords. 8s are the number of self, right? This is the infinite being, the infinite energy that is consistently coming back to experience this life. But this is all up in your head about things that aren't really true, but you're buying into them because Well, you've been taught that, right? So we're not doing this anymore. This has got to go. This is leaving. And by the end of this 30 days of you doing 5 things that you love about yourself, right? So I'll do this exercise with you because I like to do this all the time. And it's probably about time. It's about the time of year that I do this exercise for me too. Because sometimes I forget. I forget to love me, right? I do a lot of things that show myself that I love me, but sometimes it's important for us, for me in particular, to make sure that I know what I love about me, right? And we have another 8 that's popping in. And this is the 8 of Cups. And this is walking away from all that bullshit, all that emotion, all the stuff that doesn't serve us any longer. And take note of the red cloak. Red in my card readings always means healing and coming to a place of divine health and physical health and a wonderful, beautiful stasis that allows our body to be in balance, which is why next month in March, we're going to do transitional balance because it's really important for us to stay in balance. Okay. So lots to celebrate over the next 30 days. Every single day, I hope that you write 5 things down. I want you to physically write them down. It can be on a freaking napkin. I don't care, but I want it to be in some sort of pen or pencil and a piece of paper or a napkin or a notebook or a journal or whatever it is that you want to use. But please write it down. 5 things that you love about you. Physical, emotional, mental, energetically, whatever. I hope you say things like, I love my neurosis. Thank you. My neurotic behavior is awesome and it serves me, right? Or, I love my weaknesses because those weaknesses are truly your strengths, right? And once you start honoring the things that everybody else has told you is weak, you'll soon realize that they are really not weak at all. They are your biggest strength.
Tonya, I feel like you've just pulled the teacher out of me. I love being a teacher. And so I'm going to say, you guys, we're family here. We've done this ride before. I'm going to challenge you next time when we get back together to the one thing that is highlighted for you, the one thing that you're like, ooh, that was unexpected that I love that about myself. I really, really do. Bring that next month. Share that with us. The one that stood out. We want to see your shining star that surprised or delighted you. Okay, so
Agreed.
homework assignment. Never done that before.
Well, I want these homework assignments to be things that are so like, okay, I'm going to do it and it doesn't feel like homework and I know it's going to benefit me and I know it's going to be exciting, right? But I also know that it's going to soothe my soul, balance me out and connect me into a more divine place, right? And I wish I could make this shit up, y'all. I really do. We have another 8. I'm just randomly letting cards fall out of the deck. So this is really about you re-experiencing from past lives and future lives that you haven't lived yet, because they're all simultaneous. Please do not get in your mind that we finish this life and we go into another one. That is not true. We are in them all at the same time. If you haven't seen whatever the Oscar movie is this year, Everywhere, Everything, All at Once or whatever, that is exactly how life works. So if you have these weird moments of deja vu or you have a strange dream about a whole different world and a different body, I guarantee you that that is really happening to you and you can control all of those beings, right? We have another 8. Look at this. It's the 8 of Wands. Okay? So I want you to 888. And 888 is the number of divine material abundance. I mean, right now, my head is wide open and they are pouring in a whole bunch of things for me to say to you. So I need them to slow down a second. We are moving into a full moon in Aries, which is fast movement forward, right? Getting rid of shit that doesn't serve us anymore. Okay. The 8 of Wands is the sign of Aries. And it is about mass communication. It's about travel. It's about things changing in the physical that match what we're passionate about and what we love about ourselves. On top of that, when we get 888 and it shows up, and they literally fell out one after the other. So if I shuffle again and the other one falls out, I'm going to start laughing because it probably will. Let me look. No, okay. So if you 888, what that means is when you raise your frequency, you raise your vibration. We talked a lot about this last month. When you are raising your vibration into this, I love me, I really truly love who I have come here, this avatar that I get to wear, what I am experiencing this time, right? You start changing your perception and loving all of those things. I promise you, by the end of this 30 days, so when we meet again in March, right, we are going to, all of you, every single one of you that are here, are going to have a profound change in some sort of physical manifestation for you. It has to happen. This wouldn't show up if it wasn't true. Plus, we have the Three of Cups, which is all about celebration, right? It's all about emotional fulfillment. It's all about sisterhood. It's all about feeling connected to people. Okay, and it's about being supported. So I can't wait to see you guys in 30 days because it's going to be real for all of us, I promise. I can't make up things because if I did, first of all, I would be a liar and I'm not. And second of all, I love you guys too much, right? I can't make up things. So on a magical note, some major magic has been happening for me in my life, for you. Tomorrow is the 1st of March. And according to astrology and the Chinese lunar calendar, it is the luckiest day of this year. Tomorrow is the day that manifestation happens. So, please police what's going on up here. Please notice when you have any sort of negative thought. And I don't care if it's something silly like, oh, I could never grow a plant, right? To me, that's silly. You know, it's kind of like superfluous, right?
Or I look too fat in this shirt.
Yes, ma'am. That shit's gotta go. Yes, ma'am. And here's how I do it so you guys can be really clear on it, right? The second, and I've gotten really, really good at policing myself because I have all kinds of mad things going through my mind all the time. As soon as I say something, think something, hear something from outside of me that I don't agree with, I go, ooh, I cancel all that. I start making noise, clapping, changing the frequency, right? Not only does that make my avatar go, oh, that's not my reality, it also changes everything that's going on around me because I don't accept that as my reality anymore. And I'm going to give you a quick example of what happened to me this week prior to coming here. So last week is the film festival. I do interviews for celebrities and filmmakers, yada, yada. We have an individual who was booted from the film festival a few years ago who showed back up. Right now, he's just a shyster. Like, that's the best way. He's not dangerous in any way, but he's just a shyster. And he once was part of the festival, but he got kicked out of the festival. Well, he showed back up. I don't particularly jam with this person at all. I don't have any reason that I want to be nice to this person. And the first day that I saw him there in the room, and of course, he is kind of one of these people that likes to make a spectacle of himself. I stopped, I snapped, and I said, my shield of gold and white repels all dark, negative, and low vibrational energy away from me. And then he was there all the time, and he kept trying to get close to me, and I had to do nothing. He was just kept from me all the time. I didn't have to do anything, and there was no negative there. He kept trying, like, oh, let me take that picture, and I would start to say something and somebody would step in between us. And so I changed that frequency. I was like, I don't have time to lower my vibration to baby this person who's a shyster that I don't is not my energy field anyway.
Mhm.
So tomorrow morning or tonight before you go to bed, that's what I would really recommend. Set yourself an intention, because this card is coming up and it's really important. This is the Two of Swords. These are thoughts. This person is going within, they're going into deep meditation because they have a decision to make between two things, and they can't quite get their feet on the ground to understand which direction they need to go. Okay. That's why it's important for you tonight to set an intention about what you want your luck to experience over the next really 7 years. We're going to be in this energy for about 7 years. Pluto moved out of the sign of Capricorn officially tonight, and it will be moving into Aquarius, which means that on a global scale, you're going to see a whole lot of darkness, just gross all around. It's just you're gonna see a lot of negativity out there that has nothing to do with us. So please don't read it, don't roll in it, don't believe it. It has nothing to do with you. That's somebody else's experience. What it means for us as individuals, though, who are experiencing this, is it means we're going to be able to communicate the darkest parts of us in a very beautiful, fluid, positive way. It means that we're going to be vulnerable, and it means that we're going to do it in power and in strength, and it's not going to make us feel weak. It's going to make us feel very strong. So if you are choosing to experience love for yourself, if you're choosing to be a divine light, if you're choosing to move forward in a way that makes your heart beat and get a little sweaty because you get a little excited about whatever it is that you're doing, saying, being, those are all really good things, because they're going to pay off for you in abundance and you're going to see it immediately. So if you truly, at your core, at the most vulnerable point, want to win the lottery, go buy yourself a lottery ticket in the morning. Right? Now, you have to truly believe it, want it, taste it, feel it, understand it, be in it. Right? You can't, excuse me, you can't call it in. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to win a lottery, right? It's not how it works. How it works is that I already know it's mine. I just have to go get the numbers, right? And you have to believe it. Now, someone's lottery is someone else's like perfect health. So believe that perfect health, right? Someone's perfect health is someone else's divine calling, right? So put what you truly like, get deep, y'all. This isn't, I mean, these are like, I was joking with my crew before we all came on, and I said, look, we all have those things that we lay in bed at night that we don't even share with the partner who lays next to us, right? We all have them. It's not because we don't want to share them. It's almost like we're too vulnerable to say, you know, it took me a long time to admit that I really believe in magic, and I think magic is this real thing that we all experience and we just don't notice it, right? And the minute that I said it out loud, I was way embarrassed. Like I flushed, and the person I was with was like, wow, that's really cool. You really believe that? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I do. And now look at me, like I'm living this really magical life, and I do really cool magical things, and lots of magic comes in, right? So the other big thing that I've been experiencing, how many of you know who Hecate is? If I talk about Hecate, Heckate. Ah, Lizzie, thank you. I'm like, there's nobody that knows who this divine deity is. Oh my God, let's talk about her. Okay, Heka, they believe that she actually goes all the way back to Egypt and maybe even before as Heka, Heka. Okay, but Hecate in Greek, she became very, very in the forefront in Greece, and they found her likeness. The oldest likeness they found of her was in 8 BC in what is now Sicily. Okay, but Hecate has been coming to me, and I am not clairaudient by choice. Please do not speak to me. It freaks me the fuck out. Okay, but she has been in that morning time between sleep and wake. She's been whispering in my ear the last couple of days. And she's been showing up in my consciousness. Like I had a reading a couple weeks ago, and the person I was reading for said, I keep getting this bounce on Hecate. And I'm like, interesting. I don't typically work with other deities, but okay. Not thinking anything of it. And the next thing I know, there's another Hecate thing. And then, I mean, she's just showing up. Well, now she's like, yesterday I was taking a bath and she was very loud when I was in the bathtub because the water is part of who she is, right? She is the goddess of the darkness. She's the goddess of magic. She is the goddess of the moon. She is the goddess of the underworld. And what she does is bring things into light and turn them into positivity, right? And her whole form and whole being, I love how the cards always support everything that I'm saying, is definitely of this. She comes across as an incredibly masculine character, like this King of Cups, okay? But she's filled with heart, and she's filled with a knowing love for humankind, because she is incarnated on this planet multiple times and still comes back over and over again to show us that magic is real and magic exists, and the darkness and the underworld is where we find all of that. Her message to me this morning, loud and clear in my ear, was we must learn to trust AI. She brought up Atlantis. She said, you know, I was there when Atlantis existed. And I was there when it broke down because the humans became very fearful of the artificial intelligence that they had created at the time. And that was the drowning of Atlantis. She was one of the deities that came to drown Atlantis. That is her world. We're here again. We cannot let AI make us fearful. It is here to help us. This is why we as humans have invented it. It is not something that is taking away our jobs. It is not something that is taking away anything. It's adding to, and it is part of who we are. And I'm going to give you an example. I watched a beautiful movie this week called Patrick and the Whale, and it's not out yet, so watch for it. It's beautiful. And it's about a gentleman who has some beautiful experiences with sperm whales whose brains are 5 times the size of ours. Okay. And he said their clicks are definitely a language. The humpback song is definitely a language. They're talking to one another. And he goes, AI is going to figure this out. It is going to figure out the language of the whales. And once we figure out how to communicate with them on their level, we're going to learn a whole lot about the world that we've never experienced. Me personally, I believe that whales and dolphins in particular, those two creatures, are alien creatures that are here to help us in some way. And we're just now tapping into that. Okay. On a card pull note, this is for someone specific. Lizzie, this one's for you, babe. This is the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you've gotten this one before. I'm not really sure. The Knight of Pentacles is dark horse energy. And I'm glad all of you are here hearing this, because I think there's a little bit of this message for all of you, but specifically for you, Lizzie, whatever it is that you feel like you can't complete, or that you are, pardon my term, sucking hind tit on. I don't know if you know what that means, but when you have if you're in a litter, the last boob gets the least amount of milk, and so they usually don't survive because they're the runt or whatever. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're going to come out on top of this. This is a slow moving, very profitable, like financially profitable energy for you. Keep moving slow. Don't bring any attention to yourself right now. Whatever it is that you are doing, just keep doing it under the radar. There are some people out there that are doing some things that are being seen, and I don't want you to think that you need to be seen, because you don't. People will notice you because you're actually doing the work. This is going to bring, and I think I've been saying this to you a lot, a fair amount of money to you. So be in that. I feel like you keep getting away from that a little bit. Like you keep kind of falling. They're showing me that you're You have your feet on the ground, and sometimes it gets a little off kilter, and you start tilting into the side that is a little weaker in spirit than you really are. Please, just slow and steady wins the race. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Please remember, you are not intimidating. They are intimidated. Okay? So you just keep doing you, girl, and let this show up for you. Like, they're really showing me this could show up in like a text or something physically written for you, where all of a sudden you get some sort of accolade and you know you're doing the right thing. So just stay in it. Don't walk away from it. You got about 6 months. Okay.
I will say one thing, and that is that I happen to know that Lizzie is fierce as hell.
Yes, I agree with that. Yes. Yes, one of my J names that are on here today. I feel like this is the night of the J's. So yeah, Lizzie, you don't have anything to prove. You're planting seeds along the way, girl, and it's going to come to you in a big way. So yeah, don't fall into the pitiful me, because you're doing just great. You're doing just great. Hecate also wanted us to know, especially tonight, that she's going to be churning up some major emotions the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of March. So, and there's a big ascension that's happening right now. She was really, really forward about that when I was in the tub yesterday. And so if there's any of you that is feeling a little flu-like symptoms, but there's nothing wrong, like you're not having any other thing, like all of a sudden you're achy all over, right? Or you have a headache that just can't go away, but it doesn't feel like a normal headache. These are ascension symptoms. So she was real clear, like these first 3 days of March are major ascension. So even if you've already felt it, you've already been in it, and maybe you're out of it, aka Rachel over here, who, thank you for coming in with that. Please know this is not a, meat suit sickness you're dealing with. This is an ascension. Does everybody know what I'm talking about if I'm talking about ascension? No. Okay. So this is the timeline to be in. Okay. We are changing from an old paradigm, an old way that we've been actually living for about 1,000 years, right? Very male oriented, and it's turned into toxicity. Now, please don't blame male energy on that, because that's not the truth. Because female energy can get just as toxic after 1,000 years if we don't treat it with respect. Okay. So this is not to point out and go, oh, male energy is terrible. That's not the case. We are in what many are calling the divine awakening, the golden age. And this is where the age of Aquarius begins. The ancient city, now that I've completely went into space that I was just talking about, was the golden age. It came after a huge pandemic. It went through a renaissance, and then it became golden. Now, this was 10,000 years ago. Atlantis is the word I was thinking of. This was 10,000 years ago. It's taken us 10,000 years to be here and to ascend. And let me tell you all of the signs so everybody's on the same page. What happens to us on a physical level is that cellularly we start breaking, right? Our cells start raising their frequency, the vibration starts changing, and physically our body has to catch up to that, right? We're not contagious, okay? We're just physically off kilter, right? It's like being in an earthquake and the ground is shaking and you're just trying to get balanced again, right? So it makes you a little nauseous. We just went through a great pandemic. We're tipping into a renaissance, and we're seeing a huge amount of divine change. Now, we can pay attention, remain in this darkness, watch all of this ick play out and be a part of it, or we can know that it has nothing to fucking do with us, Please don't put your energy into it. It does not serve you in any way. It will never serve you in any way. It's okay to know it. It's okay to know that it's out there, and it's okay to change the paradigm around you so you're not experiencing it. Right? That's what we're here to do. We just can't buy into it. So when you hear something negative that's going on out there in the world, and you can name any political whatever, because politics triggers everybody, religion triggers everybody. And I think I said this last time, this is the first time ever in the United States that religious affiliation is less than 50%. So we're starting to see this break apart. And this is because we are in the age of an ascension. We are raising our frequency to leave that behind and not let it be part of who we are. Right? We're just not going to live in that world anymore, which allows us to be divinely connected to all of the energies that we've been connected to in this life and in many other lives. What was that movie with Tom Hanks and beautiful actress? Oh my gosh. Where they go through time.
Flash? Oh,
No. This recent, like last 15, 20 years.
Da Vinci Code?
No. It didn't do well. It was like Atlantis or
Cloud Atlas.
Cloud Atlas. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. I'm like, come on, man, somebody help me out. Halle Berry is the other actor. Remember, I think the reason why nobody really liked that movie is because they didn't freaking understand anything that was going on. And I challenge you to go back and watch it again after being a part of this tonight. You're going to get a whole different thing about it. Okay? That's ascension. What they experience in that film is ascension. How they come through that is ascension. Do not tell me that art does not predict life, because it does, right? Lucy, that's another movie that you can watch that'll tell you all about how we are connected, right? But so many people hated it. They didn't understand it. How could that be real? Well, they had to put it in a drug form, right? For us to like even get part of it. We don't have to take drugs to be connected and to become new things. I see people change their looks without doing a damn thing right in front of me all the time. I can be in an interview with someone and watch them physically change, right? It happens. So art predicts life. Pay attention to the things that you are watching. And then if there was something that you didn't like or you didn't get, and it was about something really weird and esoteric, I challenge you to go watch it again and see if you don't get something new out of it because you're in a new place. Okay? All right. Whew. Hi.
Tonya. What was the last movie? Not the Cloud Atlas, but the other one.
Lucy.
Lu-
With Scarlett Johansson. Okay. Joan. Hi, honey. This one's for you. I think everybody's going to get a card today. That'll be fun. Yay. I don't get to do everybody's cards all the time, and this is really good. Okay, Queen of Pentacles for you today. Typically this is about like earthly stuff, but I really think what she's showing me is that this is about you regrounding yourself and finding a place that creates a feeling of abundance for you. And I'm not talking about financial abundance, because that's fine. You can have all that you want. I'm talking about an abundance of positive emotion, an abundance of feeling like you're stable and in control of what you are experiencing. I think this doing this little love exercise that I put out there at the beginning is going to help you with this. And it's really going to help you get grounded. Girl, what they're showing me is that you really want to connect to the other side of the veil. Like, it's really important. And that could very easily happen for you. They're showing me what is going on is it is connecting, and you are in a state of disbelief. Like, every time it happens, you kind of blow it off a little bit, like, whoo, okay, that was just a dream, or that was just a thought, or that was,
Blow it off. I would say run away from it.
Okay. So ask for it to come to you in a way that is more acceptable to what you're experiencing. You are the programmer of your experience. And so if the experience that is coming at you, like, I don't like to be clairaudient, but I didn't jump up out of the bed and crawl out of my skin when Hecate came to my ear this morning, right? I just said, hey, do it in a way that I can accept it and not freak the fuck out. Like, give me a break, right?
Mhm.
So you're in total control. So just out loud, hey, I'm open to receive. Can you just let me receive it with divine clarity in a stable way that I can understand it and experience it where I'm not freaking out? Right?
Okay.
And then allow it to happen. Part of it is you have to get rid of the disbelief, right? Suspend the disbelief. And you have to believe in the land of make believe. And sometimes that's really hard. So she comes when she says, this will give you more stability when you do this. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles will give you the stability you deserve when you know you deserve it and can accept what is being shown to you. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
You're
It
welcome.
does.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, Jenna, I've got one for you, darling. And what they're showing me is that this is actually leaving. Okay. So you've got the Three of Swords. Okay. And so what they want you to do is this, so that they can just leave, right? You are dealing with a whole lot of dare I say, I don't love myself. Okay.
That's the definition of my life, I think.
Okay. And you can just, you've got to end that. You have to end it.
Mhm.
It's got to end right now.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
it's hindering your experience in a way that feels out of your control. And girl, everything is in your control. Everything is in your control. There is not
Oh.
one fucking thing that exists on this planet that you are not in control of,
Okay.
including this. Okay.
Okay.
This is all this. It has zero to do with what's going on here. And you're really disconnected. It would really be good if you'd start working with
Mhm.
your chakras and lining those chakras up so you're able to stay
Okay.
balanced. Okay. Your crown chakra is wide open, girl. You receive stuff all the time. And there's a whole lot of the time that you just don't want to hear it. Because it's a whole lot of, girl, you're the bomb. Girl, you're gorgeous. Girl, you're beautiful. Girl, you
Leave it.
deserve this, right? And you are like, la, 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 la. Okay. You have to turn this around. This has
Okay.
zero to do with anybody else. Nobody is doing this.
It's me.
You have a guardian angel. He is telling me that his name, I can't believe I'm getting a name. This is so weird. I hope this means something to you. Greg with 3 G's, G-R-E-G-G. So I don't know what that means.
Oh.
And he says, okay, so we get one guardian angel that's with us through our whole life. It never leaves, it never changes, that energy. Okay. They sign up, they're here from the time we incarnate until the time we leave this linear timeline. That's yours. He is yours. He's very masculine energy. Okay. He's very much that loving masculine energy. He is around you all the time. And he says he shows you all the time who he is, and that you tend to turn your back on him because you don't want to believe that he is there. Like he's in your house. He moves things, pens, pads of paper, coins. He moved your keys the other day and put them someplace else that you would never put them because he was trying to get you to pay attention to him. And he says, if you'll just say, hey, Greg, I need some love. I need some extra support. I need to love myself a little more, that he will show himself to you in the way that you can see him, not physically, right? It might be a mental image. Okay.
Okay.
He's here to help you love yourself in this life.
Okay.
Okay. G-R-E-G-G. He's like, I
Yeah.
have 3 G's in my name. He wants to be very
No.
clear about that.
It's weird because I had a friend in high school with G-R-E-G-G. And so it's weird that it's him. But I could see him doing that in my life if he were like in it, but he's not anymore. That has sailed a long time, but he always kind of boosted me. So it's strange. Anyways, okay.
Okay. So, and if it helps you to picture that other Greg, just so you can have something tangible to hold on to, that's fine. He'll show up in whatever form you want him to show up, right? But it's really important for you. And like Greg for me is never spelled with 3 G's, just so you know. Like, why would like that be so important? It's very important. Okay. So play with that energy. Like play with who he is, because he's clever and he wants you to lighten up and enjoy. Okay. All right, Jen, I've got one for you, girl. How wonderful that it is this number and that we are in this number. So we're in a 7 year, which is the number of spirituality. We talked about that last month. You're pulling the 7 of Swords. So first of all, they want you to protect your intellectual property.
Sorry, I just.
That obviously resonates, thankfully. It's real important that you protect what you own up here. So if you have an idea for an invention or a new way to do things, it's yours, nobody else's. Don't give it away.
Cool. Yeah.
They want me to quickly share the story of the card with you. So take a quick look at it. I want everybody to see this because this is kind of a little bit for everybody, but this is for you. Okay. So the story of the card is that there's a war going on and this little dude does not want to fight. And so he sneaks across enemy lines and he starts stealing their weapons and throwing them into the ocean. And that way they don't have any weapons to fight with. They can only beat the holy hell out of each other with their fists or rocks or whatever they find. And it hinders the war moving forward, right? He is smart enough to leave a couple of swords because he doesn't want, he could easily carry at least one more because he's got 3 in one hand, right? And 2 in the other. He doesn't want anybody to be on to him, right? He's just like, he's incredibly intelligent about how he's going about thwarting this battle that is happening that he doesn't want to be any part of. I really feel like that's kind of how you are living right now. You're just like, I don't want to be in a battle. I don't want to be any part of it. It's going on all around me all the time. And if there is a way for me to not experience this, that would be awesome. So how do I cut them off at their knees, or at least debilitate them enough where they stop and at least exclude me, where I'm not important anymore, right?
Right.
Girl, it comes down to you protecting what's going on up here and not allowing anybody to take that from you. It belongs to you. Okay?
Gotcha.
So, whatever you do, don't be part of the battle. It's not your battle. And I don't care who's involved in it, right? I mean, when you have kids, it's really hard not to want to jump in and be mama bear, right? Just don't. It's okay. Nobody's going to die. I promise. It's just
Well,
let them do it, right? So,
so
what'd you say, Joni?
that it happens though.
It does happen. It does happen. This, in her case, though, that's not the message that they're giving me.
I'll be a spectator.
Yes. I wouldn't even spectate. I wouldn't even, it lowers your vibration as this is all happening. So don't even be a spectator in it. You don't even need to be a part of it.
Avoid it at all costs.
Yeah, just doesn't belong to me. It's not my thing. Y'all go out there and do whatever you're doing. It's like when I used to fight with my siblings as a kid. My parents would be doing something totally different while we were beating the holy hell out of each other in the yard, right? They were like, they won't kill each other. They're not mean. They're just getting rid of teenage angst. They're fine. Right? Don't take it so seriously. Let them work it out. It's going to be okay. Okay. And meanwhile, you work on what's important for you, and you've got some really valuable ideas that are your ideas. and don't let somebody else take advantage and take those ideas away from you. If you have something that you can patent, now's the time to start patenting it. All right, so go through the process, get the copyright, get your trademark set up. Those are all really important things for you. Okay, so don't let somebody else take advantage of your brilliance. Okay, and then whatever chaos is going on, who cares? Just that's outside in the front yard and has nothing to do with me. I'm in here meditating and loving myself in every way possible. That's it. They will eventually catch on. Okay.
Gotcha.
I have a new deck. I don't know if I think I used this deck the last time we were together. I'm not really sure. But I want to pull a couple of cards for some overall energy because there's some really crazy stuff going on. This is the Guardian of the Night Tarot. If you like these cards, this is who it's by. They're beautiful. I would highly recommend because each one of them is just stunning. But there's a lot of animal imagery, a lot of bees and spiders, which is why they were gifted to me. And we had this card earlier. We're getting it in another deck. It's the Two of Swords. And every time I've had this card come out a couple of times. When I see this card, it makes me feel like you're clinging to old ideas and you're refusing to look at new ones. You notice how he's all up on this one sword and he's not even looking at the other one. And I mean, he's got his back turned to it, like he doesn't even want to step over there. I feel like when you are choosing a path and you're going between two things, choose the thing you don't know. As weird and strange and uncomfortable as that can be, do it. Because that's what we're doing. We're unlearning a whole lot of things. And this self-love that we're working on, this vulnerability, this intimacy that we're building with ourselves, what I know will happen, because I've been playing with this energy a lot, is that energy will attract other energy that's like that. And then you are supported in that self-love, and then you can be vulnerable with those people that start coming around you to support you, right? You can start saying all those crazy things that you're afraid to tell the person that you love the most, right? Or, the mom or the sister or whatever it is, right? You'll start just saying it because, well, this is my truth now and I have to make that a reality, right? You have to start taking the road less traveled. Man, I really wish, golly, the cards are so awesome. We've had this card in the other deck. This exact card showing up again. This is the Eight of Cups in this deck. So the Eight of Cups in the other deck is walking away from old emotions that don't serve us anymore. So look at this imagery. This is the tiger. I'm gonna really take a good look because I already have a good message. This is a tiger and she's literally standing in one cup. Look at her foot. She's like, I don't care about the rest of these cups. This is the only one that matters. I'm going to hang on to this one. I'm going to protect this one. This is about me. This is about me loving me. This is about me seeing that my stripes are different than everybody else's stripes and being in that and enjoying that, right? And the Eight of Cups is about that self-healing, self-fulfillment, self-love capacity and coming back into that all the time. So, man, what an incredible card. I'm going to show this again because it's just beautiful. Lots and lots of good stuff in here. So I'm going to scan it. You ready? Eight of Cups. We've gotten it twice.
That one's really vibrant. It looks like it's moving.
Right? I think it is moving.
Can you show us the deck again? Not deck.
Yeah.
What's it called?
You see the whole thing? Guardian of the Night Tarot. Okay. It's a beautiful deck. All the imagery is really gorgeous. There's lots. It's all animal imagery. All this to say, I think it's really important for us to walk away from things that aren't serving us and be very protective over the love that we give ourselves. So these next 30 days, be in that energy of it's about me. It's always been about me. I love me. I will find all the reasons to love me. I mean, that's 150 reasons to love this. Right? And start taking, I mean, if you took bullet points, that would be great. But little mental notes. What happened? What changed today? Did I make a better decision or a different decision than I would have made if I hadn't told myself I loved myself this morning? Right? I mean, because there's a whole lot of no in my life now that would have been yes before. Right? Like I would have been nice to that jerk that got kicked out of the festival before. I would have like paid attention to him. I would have been like, hey, how are you doing? And all the little small talk, the crap I hate. I didn't do any of that. And it was because I chose, like I was choosing me. I'm like, this has no love for me at all. I don't want to be in shyster energy. I'm not here to take advantage of anyone. I'm here to empower people. I'm here to show people that there's a whole better way to live. I'm here to cheer other people on. And we were just talking about this online. I am Jamie Lee Curtis cheering on Michelle Yeoh. I want everybody to win. This is not about me. I mean, it is about me. Everything's about me, just like everything's about you. But if I can cheer somebody else on who's winning, fuck yeah, all day.
Yeah.
All day. That makes me happy, right? So I am not going to be nice and lower my frequency to someone else who doesn't deserve it. Will I be professional? Absolutely. Does that require any of my energy? Absolutely not. Right?
Yeah.
Those are simple yes and no answers. Moving on.
Yeah.
Right?
And Tonya, I think you really do emanate that. Our group of women here that are putting this together, I have never worked with a collaborative group of women who are not competitive against each other, but are just for each other all the time and raising each other up, raising each other up, raising each other up. And I look around this room and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like Lizzie, I apologize. I don't know you as well as some of these other women, but I just met Joan and she walked in a room and commanded it. I was like, who that? You know what I'm saying? Like these are just powerful women. And I'm not saying we have a Lars in here too, but he also has that attracts your attention with his gentleness, which
Yes.
seems such a beautiful thing to me.
I really feel for me, I've seen a huge amount of change in my life in the last 4 years or so when I started choosing me. And then I started only choosing people around me that I felt like I could cheer on. And that's what it came down to. I was like, I can't cheer this person on. I can't find anything in them that I can be happy about. So I'm not going to be a part of them. And Joan knows me well, like out of maybe all the people here, except for maybe Dawn and Marie, I think Joan knows me better than just about anybody. And give me 100 Joans all day long. I will cheer Joan on every fucking day. And if somebody ever comes up against her, I will be the first person standing there going, you need to back the fuck up. Right? Because you don't know her for her truth. And you must not be good or you would see it. When people can't see goodness in other people, they're probably not good people. And that's the truth. That doesn't make them bad people. It just means that they're not vibrating in the same frequency that you are. And so when I see people that can't be cheering someone else on, I'm completely out. Like I don't have any sort of time to waste on them. But the minute that I see someone who's even a little bit happy for somebody else, I'm all over it. I like get the golden lasso out. Let's be friends. Come over here. And I have a way of doing that. I mean, I did this all last week, and I didn't care who they were, right? I saw some incredible films this week. Maybe the best festival I've ever been to as far as films are concerned. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot this week about some atrocities that have turned out very positive. So, man, be awake. Be paying attention. Be looking around you. Okay? Like really focus on who you're cheering on. Focus on cheering on yourself, because when you start cheering on yourself, those people are automatically attracted to it. The rest of it will just fall away. They can't be near you when you love yourself. When you love yourself, other people can't be near you. They just can't. They don't know how to be around you anymore. So 30 days of just perfect transformational love. I promise you will be in a totally different place. Most of you will be in a very different, stable financial place, because I think that's what a lot of you are wanting right now. But it is going to open up a world of open-heartedness. So if you're looking for a partner, that may happen in a whole different way that you didn't expect, because all of a sudden you're loving yourself. Man, I can't wait to hear what you guys come up with, because it's hard to get 150 of them out. You'll get there. You'll get there. Save them so you can reread them. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. Does anybody have any questions before I sign off and let you go to a little fun after party? Nothing? Bueller? Okay. Okay. I'm going to go eat. I have
Wait,
delicious...
I do have something. Did
What
you
do you
say about Hecate and Sicily?
I did.
Ooh.
What, and this just happened like in the last couple of years. They found a Hecate. So Hecate is the goddess who often shows up as one body with 3 heads, or from the waist down as one body and there's 3 torsos. You may have seen that. They found a Hecate statue from 8 BC in what is now Sicily. And they think that that is the oldest version of Hecate.
That's my ancestral stomping grounds. And Sicily represents itself as like 3 different regions. And so they have those 3-headed ceramic things.
Yes. Which, I mean, we know that region of the world was very, very influenced by the Egyptians, right? We know that Heka was the goddess of the underworld. And when she changed when she went into the Greek belief system as a Greek deity, she became 3 in 1, right? And so 3 is the number of the angels. So that makes total sense. And there are 3 regions of Sicily. Makes total sense. Like I mean, there are no coincidences, folks. We're all in this game board together.
Yes. Serendipity.
Serendipity. Okay.
All right.
I love you. I can't wait to see you next month. Yeah. Balance.
You guys, let's snap Tonya out, send her some good energy. She's been pouring out this week. And so we just want to keep her in mind this week as she refills and refills and refills. Go get food. Thank you so much. We love you so much. And we're excited to come back and tell you how much we love each other and ourselves. We love you.
See you later.
Take care, Bearheart.